when you're not being stupid, you're actually very kind. And you don't want to die alone in your house. Yeah. And your cats and your dogs are going to eat you.
Maybe he won't.
I'm so pretty. I like you. But I'm angry with you for some reason.
Liz, no!
Awesome!
We are now on part 4 of the Happily Ever After tell-all. After this, there's only one part left. We are almost there. So let's just get right to it. We left off in part 3 with Rob and Sophie yelling at each other in the overcrowded hot tub. These two seem to hate each other, so I have no idea why they are just still here continuing to call each other out. Just end it already!
He's 2 years old now. I don't follow a bunch of random women
Anymore.
I thought that their biggest issues had happened more recently. It's like a hot tub time machine. It's even bringing Liz back to the good old days with Ed. Remember, Liz, he canceled your wedding. You're supposed to hate him, not be flirting with Ed in the hot tub. That was so strange to see because here's Ed over here making his chest a table. And then Liz is lifting the drink to his face and has a huge smile and her arm is touching him. Liz, no! Don't be flirting with Ed. We saw him get destroyed on the first part of the tell-all, and it was very satisfying. Let it be and get away from him. I now am wishing that her annoying boyfriend was back. Eventually, Rob and Sophie stop arguing, and everyone piles out. Thank God. Now someone come and separate Ed and Liz, please. But even though everyone had moved out of the hot tub, we don't move to another topic. Sophie and Rob are still angry at each other. And eventually, everyone asks Sophie to show receipts that she says she has of Rob asking a girl to meet him.
So you guys don't believe the voice note is what it is?
Well, we just want to see it. You keep talking about it.
Look, I'm not a fan of Rob at all. But Sophie is just grinding my gears at this point. So she calls her mom to get the voice recording she has that proves that Rob was trying to get girls to meet up with him, but her mom doesn't have it.
It makes me look like
No, you're not looking like...
Everyone at this point looked so annoyed by this whole situation. And if they are really truly going to be on the last resort, like they are supposed to be, they are going to make that new season very long, aren't they? We get it. You hate Rob, so do we. Divorce him. And they keep bringing up the cheating, even though his real issue seems to be more about his corn addiction. If you do not know what corn addiction is, I put the real word on the screen. There's some words you want to avoid saying in a video. That's one of them.
Is it within 3 days? He couldn't not watch for 3 days.
It is an addiction.
So the night ends with us learning way too much about Rob. I thought it was so random that John was trying to find a place to sleep with Thais and Patrick. Did he really think he was going to be able to sleep where? In the bed with them?
Oh, well, Jesus.
So we move on to the very last tell-all day, day 3. And when everyone arrives, Jasmine has some advice for Ed.
When you're not being stupid, you're actually very kind. And you don't want to die alone in your house. Yeah. And your cats and your dogs are going to eat you.
Why didn't we get this Jasmine on the other tell-alls? She is hilarious and way more likable when she's not just screaming the whole time.
I don't like you either, but I don't dislike you. And I think that that is progress, okay?
Okay. So it looks like the tell-all is about to begin, but then there are some musical chairs going on before they really get started. Sophie doesn't want to sit on this couch with Rob. She wants separate chairs, but she is still right next to him, just in a different chair. But they should have actually moved them away from each other, apart, because they are still close enough to argue. Even Liz, of all people, seems irritated by Sophie not just leaving Rob.
I never had the strength to walk away from Ed. She needs to go home and just have the strength to do it herself.
And that's why I said in the car, I agree with that.
Excuse me, Liz, were you not just flirting with the Humpty that dumped you not that long ago? It's funny how I went from rooting for Liz in part 1 to being angry with her by part 4. So we move on to Lauren and Alexei's segment. They show Lauren's elective surgery footage and everyone looks horrified. This is what their entire season was about, not much else.
I'm so proud of myself for doing it, really, but to see what I put my family through, it's hard.
A few cast members ask if she was worried about not coming out of the surgery with 3 small kids at home. You know, because she has 3 under 3, and we've heard her say I don't know how many times that she has 3 kids under 3 years old. But I noticed that no one really goes after Lauren at all. She just points out where she got her procedures done on her body. And then they actually go after Alexei for some of the comments he made post-surgery.
I'll be proud of you when you take care of the home and be a great mom to our kids and a good wife to me. That's what I'm proud of, not your career.
So apparently the goal of this clip was to make us all mad. But he explains that this conversation was right after her surgery and she was still healing and it was a very stressful time. And I find it so strange that this is what Sean says next.
Does anybody think that Alex came across as chauvinistic?
So we have Angela stomping around this tell-all. But that's who she goes after, Alexei. Lauren got an elective surgery, and her husband had to figure out how to balance taking care of 3 kids under 3 while he works full-time, and she can't help with anything. She can't lift anything. She just has to lay there post-surgery for weeks. I'm sure that that's going to cause some stress and probably some fights. And it just so happens that post-surgery, they catch a moment at dinner where Lauren says she wants more surgery, and she wants to go back to work when she's barely off the operating table.
I don't have a problem with her bringing in money and support as long as she can combine being a mom and a wife to me, which in my eyes are first priority.
Was his response great? No, but Lauren does what she wants. We're not worried about her not doing what she wants. She will do what she wants. And in general, this is just such an odd topic to hyper-focus on. She herself gets no shit from anyone on the cast during this segment, and Skeletor is still running rampant. Sean, what are you doing? Because then right after this, they let Angela back on the tell-all when she was extremely late. I don't actually think that Sean was expecting that though, because Angela scares her on the way in.
Oh my goodness.
The only good part about having Skeletor back is that Kobe finally stands up to her.
You've always disrespected your husband in public. Okay. To the level that even a fly cannot respect him.
I'm so glad that someone finally said something, but I don't know why it took this long to do it.
No, I'm not gonna sit here and act as if this is not something that has been going on and on.
And she doesn't start screaming in response like I expected.
Kobe.
I don't care. It's your opinion.
Kobe, don't worry. It's okay,
really
please.
None of your business.
And I find it crazy that she can't even acknowledge that the private investigator found nothing.
He only had 2 weeks to investigate. I don't know his social medias that he had behind my back.
I told you I don't have any social media.
I know.
There's nothing in there.
But that is as far as this goes for now. I was kind of hoping that Angela would leave again, but she stays and we move on to Ashley and Manuel's segment. I like how Ashley has so many great insightful things to say during other people's segments, but her own relationship issues are just an absolute mess. After Manuel gets called out for not learning English, by Ed of all people, they talk about how they waited to file Manuel's papers so he can work, and they have no good reason for why they waited.
Si pasa 4 horas en el gimnasio y no tiene tiempo para llenar unos papeles que le tomará 1 hora diaria.
Manuel even cries and says that he wants to work.
Ella dejó 1 año perdido ahí. Eso es lo que me molesta.
So this is what I think. I think first that he is lazy, and I think that she hasn't pushed him to do it because he won't be around as much when he is working. If he starts to work out of the house, there will be even less trust between them and he can be even more secretive. Think about it. Like, he won't be around all the time. She can't really check in on him if he's at a job. Not the same way, at least. And I think this because of how defensive Ashley gets when people ask her why she hasn't helped him file. There's a whole lot going on here. So in general, this relationship to me has always been suspicious. I thought this on their 90 Day Fiancé season as well. It feels like a scam relationship. And Ashley definitely does not trust this guy enough for him to go out, get a job, where she can't keep an eye on him as much. And that's why I think that Ashley is dragging her feet on his work papers. Comment below what you think. That's what I get out of this. Everything they argue about on this tell-all, everything they talk about, is mainly that Ashley does not trust Manuel. And that's a wrap. The tell-all portion of this is over. But the drama is still alive and well because, remember, there is still a part 5 of this. So the cast is done with the tell-all part, but is not going home yet. Well, except for Lauren and Alexei. At first I was like, oh, they're going home because they have 3 small kids. But then I remember a few other couples have kids too. And also, let's be real. If Lauren was told she could get her boobs done here, they would have stayed a whole month. So the cast isn't happy with them and was already talking crap about them before they walked out with suitcases.
You the best of luck. That was such a half-assed hug, but okay.
I don't really think that's fair. So get on a flight and go home.
I'm not really like a big fan of Lauren, so this whole thing was very funny to me.
You guys think that you are better than us? Excuse me? Excuse me, oh.
Thais wants Lauren and Alexei to have to suffer like the rest of them. I'm assuming at this point that they will be in the mansion for one more night together, and then maybe they all leave in the morning? But there is a clip for part 5 where Ed is saying goodbye to Liz, and it's dark out. So maybe they do all leave tonight, but from the mansion, and this argument is for no reason, which makes it even funnier.
You like us to sit and you can say whatever you would like right now because I've got 5 minutes.
Big Ed the Bee wants to remind you to subscribe to this channel. If you don't, he will fly into your house and body shame you.
It makes no sense to go to the gym and then go to 7-Eleven and eat nachos.
And Kobe too, because on the final part, he actually gets one more chance to stand up to Angela. She's like hopping around like she's going to do something. I don't want Kobe to get hurt at all. I mean, she's a freaking psycho, but I do hope that the cops take her away. And then it looks like we also see the final stupid goodbye between Ed and Liz. I actually did not think that they would even say goodbye to each other. Liz, come on, you were just being an idiot at this point. So we have one part left. I'm ready for this tell-all to come to an end. And for some reason, I'm still really annoyed by the fact that Sean asked Alexei harder questions than Angela. That was infuriating to me. And I keep hoping each season that this is the last of Angela. Get Leatherface off the screen. So let's end this and hope that this one is really, in fact, the last one. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!